Alright, welcome back to Warthrone Weekly News. If you've noticed, this is kind of a Tuesday. Unfortunately, on Saturday and Sunday, I was out of town, and it just happened to be that this week is a rather explosive week with a large host of things coming out. There happened to be a dev server of 1.73, which is really close to release of 1.71, so it took me off guard completely. There's also the 5th anniversary event happening right now, and there was a ship beta where we got to test an Italian destroyer. We started off with the dev server. The most unexpected vehicle was Italian tanks. 2 of them, a Italian Pershing and a special P2640. The P2640 comes in at 3.3, which is the perfect battle rating for the P108A. Both of the tanks, to buy them through packs, I believe one's 30 and one is 20. I took the P26 out on a test drive, and altogether it seemed rather fine, but its cannon was very low velocity and underwhelming at points. Though if my memory serves right, this thing should have around 50 millimeters of armor for its front, so it should do just fine. It's no Chi Nu 2, but it's an alright tank. I wouldn't be surprised if it did get down tiered, but I think it's best to wait to see it in actual combat to make judgments. What's also interesting is the Italian Pershing. I'm wondering if they'll get a main tech tree Pershing. And I wonder how the rest of the tree is going to look. Remember right from the user-made tree, the P26 was around here in-game. It's going to be a tier 2. So I'm really wondering what they're going to pack the rest of the tree full of. Besides those, Germany got the Beagle Panzer 57, which is a very light armored tank with a 57mm auto-loading cannon, which has some pretty high penetration. It's a new tier 6 vehicle. The USSR didn't exactly get a new vehicle, but they got an upgrade to the BMP, the BMP-1P. I'm not exactly sure where that changes, and I was too lazy to Google search it. The Japanese got the Type 5 Ho-Ri production. It's at 6.7 and has a very nice cannon. It's a bit sluggish. It has really good armor. The French tree, the entire French tree was shown off. Everything that will come has been shown. 2 things stood out to me the most. First one being that the D521 is missing from the tree, despite it being in-game in the British line, not in the French line on release. The other thing that stood out a lot to me was the enormous amount of US aircraft in the tree. Of the American planes that I recognize in this tree are the SB-2C5, F6F5, F6F5N, P63C5, F8F1B, AD4AN, PB4Y2, and I'm pretty sure the A35B is an American plane. So in total, that's about 8 US aircraft in this tree, and a good amount of these are not just versions only the French used, though some of them are versions different than what we currently have in game, but there's no legit reason why they shouldn't be in the US tree. Many US players have been wanting the AD4 for a long time. In other words, the SO8000 was, well, it had quite mixed emotions towards people's opinions on it. Some people said that it was awful and they hated it. Some people said that it was amazing and they loved it. I did get to test fly it. I gotta say, it's rather heavy, it doesn't turn well, and has a really nice armament and actually can get some nice speed. I didn't have enough time to get a good idea of the climb speed, but I would say that if you can get to altitude fast enough, that you'll have a fine time in this aircraft, so long as you don't try to turn fight zeros. What I also thought was kind of interesting is the highest BR aircraft is 5.7, when then it immediately jumps to 8.0 jets. One of the trees, the main fighter tree, only actually goes to 4.7. I find the way they put this tree rather interesting. It's obviously missing quite a few prominent French aircraft. Okay, well, it's missing the D521, which is already in game. But altogether, it's a rather solid tree if you were to take it up as your first. Though if you've already played American, you might be kind of annoyed having to grind out a bunch of the aircraft once again. Besides the vehicles added, there was a host of other changes, but this is only the dev server. I think I might go into more detail to them when the actual patch comes. the side of the 5th anniversary event. Gaijin said it would be their biggest, and they were not wrong. It is definitely the biggest. A large amount of things are going to happen. First off, from November 1st to November 3rd, they're going to give away 2 vehicles. The M8 Greyhound, armed with a 50 cal and a 37mm cannon. This is a US armored car. I'm a little disappointed that it's only a event vehicle. This is a rather iconic vehicle, and it should be just in the light tank line, though it's possible that its performance is terrible. It's not exactly known for its armor, but it has some good speed. And the I-29 Russian heavy fighter. I actually don't know anything about this vehicle. Looks like it has a rather minuscule armament. It was probably some sort of prototype. It looks rather interesting. I think it'll be fun to have. It's probably not going to be too high up on the tree. It has a pretty early war design to it, so I don't expect the performance to be that great. Besides that, the talismans and modifications are 50% off. Some premium is also 50% off, only the 2 largest though. And vehicles in general are 50% off, but only for certain days for certain nations, which I am rather annoyed at, mainly because I was out when the British were on sale and I was unable to purchase them. I have quite a few British vehicles that I researched and have not bought. By the time you're listening to this, the only ones left will be like a day for Japan and Italy. On November 1st and November 2nd, first victory you get will be a ×5 bonus of research points and Silver Lion. On November 1st to November 6th, there'll be store discounts for vehicle packs in the Gaijin store and in the PlayStation store, except for vehicles that were added in Update 1.71 in the French aircraft and naval packs. Something they're being rather sneaky about. On November 1st, there will be some details about some special rare vehicles. My theory is that they're going to put them in the War Bond place. On November 3rd to November 6th, you'll be able to get some boosters and some Golden Eagles. For the boosters, it depends on how long you've been playing War Thunder. There'll also be a quiz to get the War Thunder Mastermind title. And for Golden Eagles, it depends on how much money you've thrown at the game. You'll get 150 Golden Eagles if you've thrown 1,000 to 5,000 Golden Eagles, and you'll get 500 Golden Eagles if you've thrown money to get 5,000 Golden Eagles in the game. These will be given out November 3rd. And finally, there is a tournament to get the E100 and the AT162A1 Salamander. To get the vehicles, you need to get a ticket for things, and the first 200 players in AB, the first 200 players in RB, and the first 50 players in Sim will get to choose whether they want the E100 or a Salamander. I have chosen not to bother because I know that I'm not the best super elite player out there. It's rather annoying that the Salamander happens to be a super rare prize event vehicle. I'm fine with the E100 being that because that's what it was brought in the game for. And apparently Gaijin messed up the tournament anyways, so God knows what's happening there. There's also a giveaway on the Facebook page where you can get a bunch of random things and a motherboard and processor. There will be a link to how to get that in the description. As I said at the beginning, there's a new Italian destroyer, and Friday we've got to test it, and it's probably the worst destroyer of the bunch. It only had 4 main cannons. Its anti-air armament wasn't that impressive, and it was rather slow and sluggish and be kind of easy to destroy. It only had high explosive shells, which isn't too big of a deal. It was armed with 6 torpedoes. It's nice to see the Italian Navy, but this probably wasn't the best ship to come out of the gate with. Also, what's interesting is, despite what they showed on the dev blog, there are 2 different types of Soldati's class destroyers being added to the game. It was shown in the little video thing at the top of the dev blog that there was a destroyer with a 5th cannon in place of the Star Shell cannon. Also, the Star Shell cannon did not shoot anything, which is disappointing, but I think it was only used for illumination and not actually attacking enemy ships. To go along with the destroyer, there was a motor torpedo boat added as well. It was armed with 2 torpedoes and 5 20mm cannons, 4 in the back in 1 turret and 1 in the front in 1 turret. The turret in the back was rather powerful, but although it was quite hard to get on target and the boat itself was kind of slow. It was still a rather fun boat to take out. Also in the CDK, a map North Sea was dug up. It looks rather interesting on how it's going to play out. There was 2 dev blogs, but these kind of lost steam once the dev server opened and we saw the entire tree. But I'll talk about them anyways. The Farman F.222.2 heavy bomber was revealed, and it looks awesome in my personal opinion. It looks like a beefed up World War I bomber. It has 4 engines, 2 push, 2 pull, and I am very excited about researching this thing in the French tree. Although it was revealed in the dev server that we're getting 2 versions, the F.222.2 and the F.222.3. Besides that, there was also the MB157 revealed, although we saw it in the dev server. I don't have much to say about this, though the French pilot model was also revealed, and it was unfortunately lacking a fine mustache. And finally, War Thunder is going to be released on Xbox One and Xbox One X, which is rather exciting, which gives us, veterans of the game, some cannon fodder to shoot at to boost our research points. Honestly, that is actually an awesome announcement. A nice large boost to the player base, another scene, just more people in general, and it's good to see everyone be able to play this game. And you know, it's probably like one of the only games that has all 3 major platforms across. Not only you could break into the Nintendo market, that'd be interesting. Get some Mario decals on the side if you're playing. Anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If this comes out before Halloween, happy Halloween. I hope you get lots of candy. If you want to see more, I make these every Sunday, not Tuesday. So hit that subscribe button and you should get a new one. If you want to be notified whenever I make any video, hit the notification bell and you should get a notification. If you have any comments or concerns, or you just want to yell at me, hit me up in the comments and I'll get back to you. And anyways, thanks for watching.